Most guys think intimacy is about what happens in the bedroom, but real psychologists say the actual signals happen way before that, and most men miss every single one. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you're gonna see her completely differently. One, she starts sharing the small stuff. Okay, so here's something most guys completely miss, and honestly, it's one of the biggest green flags you'll ever get in a relationship. When a woman starts texting you about the random, boring, everyday stuff like what she had for lunch or that her coworker said something weird or that she saw a dog that reminded her of something funny, that's not a smart talk. That's her saying, I want you in my everyday life. See, women don't share the mundane details of their day with just anyone. They share those things with people they feel emotionally safe with. When she is looping you in one the little moments, she is literally inviting you into her inner world. And here's the psychological truth behind it. Intimacy ain't built in the big dramatic moments. It's built in thousands of tiny ordinary exchanges. So if you've been brushing off her random text as unimportant, start responding with genuine interest. Ask follow-up questions, react like it matters because to her it completely does. That tiny habit alone can completely transform the emotional depths of your relationship, and she'll feel more connected to you than she ever has before. Two, she gets quiet around you, but in a good way. Most people think that closeness means constant conversation, but a psychologist will tell you something totally different. Real intimacy actually shows up in comfortable silence. When a woman feels truly safe with someone, she stops feeling the pressure to perform or entertain. She can just be. So if she's sitting next to you, not saying much, but she's relaxed, maybe leaning in, and maybe just scrolling her phone while you watch TV, and she doesn't feel the need to fill every second with words, that's a massive signal. She is telling you without saying anything that she trusts you completely. She doesn't need a script around you. She doesn't feel judged or watched. Now compare that to how she acts around people she is uncomfortable with. She is probably chatty, a little nervous, or explaining herself. The quiet she has with you is completely different. It's warm, it's chosen, and if you wanna nurture that, don't break it with nervous jokes or forced conversation. Just let it exist and lean into it. That silence is literally the sound of deep emotional trust, and most couples never even get there. Siri, she remembers what you said, even the true way stuff. Here's a test. Think back to a random thing you mentioned weeks ago. Maybe a childhood memory, a band you like, something you said in passing, and notice if she brought it up later. Because when a woman is craving a real intimacy, she listens differently. She is not just learning your words, she is collecting them. She is building a mental picture of who you are, what matters to you, what makes you tick, and when she references something you said way back, she is showing you that she was paying attention, not because she had to, but because she wanted to. Psychologically, this is called attentive listening, and it's one of the clearest signs of emotional investment. She is curious about you in a deep way, and here's what you should do with that. Match her energy, start paying attention to the little things she says. Bring them back up later. Surprise her by remembering her sister's name or that thing she said about her childhood that she thought you forgot. Watch how her whole face changes. That's you speaking her language, the language of being truly seen, and it's incredibly powerful in building lasting intimacy. If this is already heading different, smash that like button right now and subscribe, because what's coming next is the part most people never figure out. Don't miss it, for as she shows you her view side, forget the polished picture perfect version of herself. She shows the world. When a woman starts letting you see the weird, the awkward, the goofy, the totally unfiltered version of her, she's handing you something incredibly rare. Most people spend their whole lives hiding the parts of themselves that they think are too much. They laugh at themselves quietly. They keep their strange little habits a secret. They perform a version of themselves they think is acceptable. So when she's doing her ridiculous dance in the kitchen, or quoting a dumb movie in a terrible accent, or attempting that she talks to her plants and she's doing it in front of you, she's choosing vulnerability. She's saying, I trust you not to make me feel embarrassed for being myself, and that trust, psychologically speaking, is the foundation of real emotional intimacy. It doesn't come easily. It comes from feeling consistently safe, consistently unjudged, consistently accepted. So when she gets weird with you, don't roll your eyes or give her a half smile. Lean and be weird back, because that pitiful, unfiltered space between two people, that's where real love actually lives. Fine, she picks fights about things that ain't really the fight. And now this one sounds counterintuitive, but stay with me, because understanding this could literally save your relationship. When a woman starts an argument about something that seems small or irrational, the dishes, the way you responded to a text, something you said 3 days ago, there's almost always something deeper underneath that. She is not actually upset about the dishes. She is upset because she is feeling disconnected, unseen, or emotionally distant from you. And the dishes just happen to be the trigger that lets it all out. Psychologists call this displacement, and it's extremely common in relationships where one or both partners ain't learned to directly express emotional needs. Here's the thing. The worst response is to argue about the surface issue. The best response is to pause, take a breath, and say something like, hey, I feel like this might be about more than just this. What's really going on? That one move, that one pause and redirect shows her that you're emotionally intelligent enough to see her, not just the conflict. And when a woman feels truly seen during a conflict, the whole thing can shift from a fight to a breakthrough. That's intimacy building in real time. 6. She tests you and hopes you'll pass. This is one of the most misunderstood behaviors in relationships, and once you understand that, everything clicks. Women, especially women who've been hurt before, will sometimes do little tests, not in a manipulative way, but in a deeply human, self-protective way. She might cancel plans to see if you push back or just accept it. She might say something self-deprecating to see if you agree or reassure her. She might go quiet for a day to see if you notice. These ain't games, these are safety checks. Psychologically, they come from a place of fear of being abandoned, fear of being with someone who doesn't really care, fear of opening up and getting hurt again. And here's what she's really asking with every test. Are you gonna show up for me? Are you consistent? Do you actually care? The way you pass these tests ain't by being perfect, it's by being present, by noticing, by following up, by showing that you're paying attention even when she ain't explicitly ask you to. When you consistently pass those tests, she starts to believe that maybe, just maybe, it's safe to let her guard down completely. And that's where real intimacy becomes possible, which signal strikes you the most. And have you ever missed one of these in your own relationship? Tell me below. 7. She talks about the future casually. Pay close attention to her casual conversation because it's hiding something huge. When a woman is craving real intimacy and sees you as a long-term possibility, she'll start weaving you into her future almost without realizing it. She'll say things like, "Oh, we should go there sometime," or "I feel like you'd love my hometown," or "My friend's wedding is in the spring." You'd probably think it's hilarious. These ain't just throwaway comments. These are her imagination at work, placing you in her life down the road, testing how that picture feels. And the fact that she's saying them out loud means that she's comfortable enough with you to let you hear what's in her head. Now, here's the key. Don't panic and pull back, and don't overreact and make it weird by immediately planning a future together. Just receive it warmly. Smile, respond naturally, say, "Yeah, I'd be down for that." That simple, calm response tells her brain he's not scared of this. He sees that too, and that emotional safety is exactly what opens the door for deeper connection. Future casting together, even casually, is how couples build a shared identity, and it's a beautiful sign she's already started it. She brings up her past, the real stuff. Small talk is easy, telling you about her day, her opinions on Netflix shows, her favorite food. That's a surface level, and almost anyone can get there. But when she starts opening up about her past, her childhood, her family dynamics, a relationship that hurt her, a version of herself she is not proud of. That's a completely different level of trust. Psychologically, sharing personal history is one of the most vulnerable things a human being can do. It requires believing that the other person won't use that information against you, won't judge you, won't think less of you. And when a woman shares that kind of stuff with you, she's not just making conversation, she's giving you access to the parts of her that shape who she is. Here's how you handle it right. Listen fully, don't interpret, don't immediately try to fix it or offer advice unless she asks. Just be present, reflect back on what you heard. Say something like, that makes a lot of sense. That must have been really hard. That kind of response makes her feel heard on a deep level, and every time that happens, the emotional bond between you gets stronger and more unbreakable. 9. She initiates, not just physically. When people think about initiation in a relationship, they usually go straight to physical intimacy, but that's just one small piece of a much bigger picture. Real emotional intimacy shows up when she starts initiating in all kinds of ways. She takes first, she suggests plans, she reaches for your hand, she sends you something she saw online because it reminded her of you. She calls just to hear your voice. Every single one of those things is an act of emotional care. Because initiating means putting yourself out there and risking rejection. And when she keeps doing it consistently without being asked, it means she's not afraid of that risk anymore. She trusts that you'll meet her halfway. Psychologically, reciprocity is the engine of intimacy. When one person reaches out and the other consistently meets them there, a cycle of safety and connection gets reinforced over and over again. So, if she's the one initiating more often, don't take it for granted. Don't go cold or distracted. Match her energy, or better yet, get ahead of it. Initiate before she has to. That simple shift can completely change the dynamic and deepen the emotional intimacy in ways you might not even expect. Be honest, is someone specific came to your mind while watching this? Drop a nice emoji in the comments if yes. 10. She gets protective of your energy. Here's a subtle but incredibly telling sign that a lot of people overlook. When a woman starts being protective of you, not in a controlling way, but in a genuinely caring way, that's intimacy expressing itself. She notices when you're tired and suggests you escape the plan. She defends you when someone says something unfair. She checks in after a hard day without you having to ask. She remembers that you have a big meeting tomorrow and sends a good luck text. These are acts of emotional attunement, and they require her to be deeply tuned in to your emotional state. Psychologists call this empathic resonance, and is actually one of the highest forms of connection between two people. She is not just thinking about herself and the relationship anymore. She is thinking about you, your stress, your needs, your experience, and here's the beautiful part. You can encourage this by doing it right back. Notice her, check in on her, protect her energy too. When both people in a relationship are actively looking out for each other's emotional well-being, the relationship stops feeling like a partnership and starts feeling like a safe haven. That's the goal. That's what both of you actually want. 11. She cries in front of you or almost does. Cry in front of someone is one of the most vulnerable things a human being can do, and most women know this on a very deep level. Culturally, women are often told that crying is too much or too emotional, so many of them learn to cry alone in private where no one can see. So when she tears up in front of you, whether it's over a movie, a story she's telling, something that happened at work, or something she's genuinely upset about, and she doesn't run to the bathroom to hide it. That's a profound act of trust. She's letting you see her in a moment of emotional rawness. She's choosing not to perform strength for you, and here's exactly what to do in that moment. Don't panic, don't make a joke, don't immediately try not to fix it. Just move closer, make eye contact, say, hey, I'm right here. That's it. That simple response, being present and calm, is exactly what her nervous system needs. It tells her you're safe to feel things around me. And every time you show up that way, you're deepening a level of trust that most relationships never even touch. 12. She mirrors your habits without realizing it. Have you ever noticed her picking up one of your phrases, watching something you recommended, and getting obsessed with it, starting to like a food she used to hate because you love it? This is called behavioral mirroring, and psychologists have studied it extensively as a sign of deep emotional bonding. When we feel close to someone, our brain naturally starts to sync with theirs. Our speech patterns, our interests, our habits. It's not conscious imitation, it's the brain's way of building closeness and belonging. It's saying, I want to understand your world from the inside, and it's one of the most natural, beautiful signals of genuine connection. Now, here's how you use this knowledge in a practical way. When you notice her mirroring you, reciprocate intentionally, try something she loves, use her language, show interest in her world the same way she is showing interest in yours. Mirroring is a two-way bridge, and when both people are crossing toward each other, the relationship depends at a pace that feels almost effortless. It's not about losing yourself, it's about building a shared culture, and that shared culture is what makes a relationship feel like home. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop in the comments which one of these signals hit closest to home, and if you know someone who needs to see this, share it with them right now. It might just save their relationship. 13. She asks for your opinion and actually waits for it. Here's a distinction that matters a lot. Some people ask for opinion as a formality. They've already decided they just want validation. But when a woman is genuinely craving emotional intimacy, she asks for your opinion and she actually waits to hear it. She wants to know what you think about her career decision, her conflict with a friend, what apartment she should take. She's not just asking to fill silence, and she is including you in her decision-making process. And psychology, that an enormous act of trust. It means she values your perspective. It means she sees you as someone whose judgment matters. It means she's starting to think of you as a partner in the truest sense, someone she navigates life with and not just beside. Here's how to honor that. When she asks, actually engage. Don't give a vague, non-committal answer just to avoid conflict. Think about it. Share your honest perspective respectfully. And then this is key. Tell her that the final call is hers and you support whatever she decides. That combination of genuine engagement plus respect for her autonomy is relationship goal. It's what builds the kind of trust that makes intimacy grow deeper over time. 14. She gets a little jealous but tries to hide it. Now, let's be clear. Toxic jealousy is a red flag, full stop, but there's a completely different kind of jealousy that's actually a signal of emotional investment. And it shows up in subtle, almost sweet ways. She mentions a little too casually that a same woman commented on your photo. She goes slightly quiet when you talk about a female coworker. She asks a few too many questions about who you were with last night. She's not trying to control you. She's trying to figure out how much you matter to her, and the answer is clearly a lot. This kind of soft jealousy is her emotional brain reacting before her logical brain can stop it. It's her attachment system lighting up, and the healthy intimacy building response aimed to dismiss it or tease her for it. It's to gently reassure her, not in a way that validates insecurity, but in a way that makes her feel chosen. Say things that remind her she is your priority. Be consistent, be transparent. When she feels secure in how you feel about her, that soft jealousy fades on its own, and what replaces it's a quiet, subtle confidence in the relationship that makes everything feel more stable and safe. 15. She tells you things she's never told anyone else, and here is it, the deepest signal of all, the one that means she's fully ready to cross the threshold into real lasting intimacy. When she lowers her voice and says, I've never told anyone this before, or I don't know why I'm telling you this. She's handing you the most precious thing she has, her unguarded truths. These are the stories she's kept locked away, maybe out of shame, maybe out of fear, maybe because she never trusted anyone enough to let them out, and now she's letting them out with you. Psychologically, this level of self-disclosure creates what researchers call intimacy acceleration. It bonds to people at a depth that's almost impossible to reserve. You don't just know her, you know her, and she feels that she feels lighter for having told you. She feels closer to you than she's felt to maybe anyone. What you do in that moment matters enormously. Receive it with grace. Don't flinch. Don't minimize it. Don't immediately compare it to your own story. Just hold a space for hers. Say, I'm really glad you told me that those 6 words said sincerely can change everything. They tell her that her secrets are safe with you, and that's the very foundation on which deep, unshakable, real intimacy is built.